Mr. President, allow me at the outset to thank you for your decision to personally preside over this meeting and to express our appreciation to the ministers who are taking part in this open debate. Allow me also to thank the briefer, Mr. Tor Wensland, and through him, the United Nations, as our organization continues trying to uphold its sacred mandate despite repeated Israeli attacks against the UN, its Secretary General, and its personnel. Mr. President, in the words of the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights, and I quote, "The darkest moment of the Gaza conflict is unfolding in the north of the Strip, where the Israeli military is effectively subjugating an entire population to bombing, siege, and risk of starvation. The Israeli government's policies and practices in northern Gaza risk emptying the area of all Palestinians. We are to crimes against humanity," end of quotation. The acting Under-Secretary General for Humanitarian Affairs concluded on her part in the Security Council recently, and I quote, "The entire population of North Gaza is at risk of dying," end of quotation. Take a moment to grasp what that means. The entire population of North Gaza is at risk of dying. Hundreds of thousands of Palestinians are at risk of imminent death, faced with the death penalty for refusing to leave their land. I sat in the Security Council week after week, stood before the General Assembly week after week, hoping to be able to tell my people that help is on the way. They endured horrors that you watch on your TV screens and yet can barely comprehend, but their tormentors continue to be shielded and Palestinian victims continue to be abandoned. There is a lot of solidarity and empathy in this council and in these halls and around the world. Many countries are taking bold initiatives for justice to prevail, and we are grateful to all of them. But as we barely scratch the surface of ending Israelis' impunity, Israel continues committing crimes after crime, defying every rule and all states assembled in these United Nations, betting that its will to kill and colonize will outweigh the collective will of the international community to save lives and achieve freedom and peace. Palestinians are besieged, bombed and starved, blamed for being killed. They have nowhere to go, and they know that if they leave, they will not be allowed to return. Israel denies that it is implementing the very plan you see it deploying before your eyes. It is outraged to be accused of crimes it has already confessed to. Israel wants to rewrite international law to consider that indiscriminate killing, targeting of civilians, including humanitarians and doctors and journalists, starvation as a method of war, arbitrary detention, abductions and torture, willfully causing great suffering or serious injury to body and health, wanton destruction, forcible displacement and colonizations are all legal as long as they are committed by Israel. They are barbaric only if committed by others. Israel is inventing a law that adapts to and changes with the identity of the victims and the identity of the perpetrators. A racist, supremacist, inhumane law.